Alright, check it. First off, let me start by saying that I have a great deal of respect for a lot of the I have a lot of respect for people who work in the public sector, as far as firefighters, EMS, cops, military. I mean, they make great sacrifices to keep us safe and all that. I understand. I mean, if somebody's robbing my house, who do I call? I call 911. I want a cop to come over and give me some assistance. If I'm passed out and suffering from a stroke or a heart attack, who do I call? Well, not me, but I would like EMS workers to come over and try to revive me and things like that. So these people actually put themselves under a great amount of stress under circumstances that are snap decisions, and they train for that, so it gives them that ability over regular citizens to react in certain times to do their job effectively. And I understand that. But recently, with the Eric Gardner and what's happening in St. Louis with the protesters and Michael Brown and things like that, it seems like there's a lot of situations dealing with the cops where unarmed black men are getting shot and killed by law enforcement, and it's crazy. There was a video of a 12-year-old in the park by himself, just with some kind of toy gun or whatever, and a call went out that maybe this person in the park is with a real gun, or it might be a toy gun. I don't know how the report came out to the dispatch or whatever, but I think the dispatch received the call, sent it out to, I guess, a patrol car or whatever, saying that it might be a possible toy gun. So that right there, that should give them some kind of preparation on how to handle the situation before arriving on the scene, I would think. And if it was a real gun, I think more than one squad car would, I guess, go out to the scene to check it out or whatever. But let's say that, you know, they were the closest, so they were the first ones to respond. They get there 2 seconds out of the car to shoot, not even giving orders to put down the gun, you know, freeze, anything. Just 2 shots, which is real crazy. So a lot of people are seeing these stories. You got the tension in New York, tension basically across the country about how police are now doing their jobs when it comes to, you know, dealing with the public. And I think that a lot of times when a cop is out on patrol, they're not looking to kill somebody. I understand that. They're not getting in their patrol car, talking to their partner, saying, you know what, it would be really nice if I could test this gun out today. I know they're not saying that, but if these cops would stop for a minute and think back to when they were citizens, and if they got harassed or if they were stopped by a policeman and felt like, you know, they were disrespected by the way the cop was talking to them or the way the cop was handling them or anything like that, then maybe they would say, you know what, all right, okay, let me not be that cop that did that to me. Or they could say, you know what, But then again, maybe they were in situations where in the beginning in their policing, they were like that. And then they came across a couple of, you know, stops where the citizen that they stopped or whatever was a jerk or disrespectful, and then probably put a bad taste in their mouth, and now they just like treat everybody that way. I don't know. But I know that as a person driving this car right now, and I'm a regular citizen and I'm driving, and somebody cuts me off, I'm pissed off, I'm giving them the finger, you know, depending on how I'm cut off, I mean, I might get really angry and roll down the window and yell at them or whatever, you know, something like that. And then you have people that actually, in road rage, shot people and killed people for cutting them off and things like that. Now, imagine if that same person put on a uniform and became a cop. Just because you have on a uniform and a badge and a gun, that doesn't stop that type of rage when you're cut off in traffic or anything like that. So that same person is now a cop that was flipping people the bird and cutting people up and doing all this other crazy stuff. Now they're wearing a uniform and they're the same person. So that same person that's capable of flipping the bird, shooting his gun to kill people and all this other stuff, that same person is now wearing a uniform and pulling me over, pulling you over, and whatever you did to that cop to make him angry enough before he was a cop to shoot you or do any of that stuff, he now has the authority to kill you. He has the authority to kill you, and we try to hold police officers and, you know, people of that nature in higher regard and think that, okay, you're supposed to know better. You're the law. You're supposed to be the one that's supposed to uphold the law and things like that. You're a public servant. You can't be doing what you used to do when you was a regular citizen. But some of these cops can't turn it off. Some of these cops will, if you say don't touch me, that escalates the situation. If you tell them I didn't do anything wrong, you just profiling me or whatever, they see that as you're challenging their authority, and then they're gonna give you a reason. They want you to put them in a situation where they have to throw their handcuffs on you. So you may slap their hat off, or you may be in their face. Whatever you do to escalate the situation, they're looking for that. Because these cops, I guess they get some kind of a gold star. I don't know. They get some kind of reward for the amount of arrests they do in order to become the detective or something like that. I guess they got to have a certain amount of arrests and things like that. And it's like they got these quotas for writing tickets. And, you know, a lot of these police, I would say that a lot of these captains, lieutenants, even sergeants, there's a culture within the police precincts that they have to operate a certain way. And I think that the culture needs to be changed in order for any policing to be changed. Because if you got these supervisors applying pressure to the, you know, the beat cops and patrolmen, if they applying those type of pressures on them, then they're gonna do what they need to do to effectively do their job and not catch heat from their supervisors. On top of that, if there's a culture within the police precinct that if they were to shoot their gun or smack somebody around or whatever, they know that blue wall of silence. They know that when they get back to the station house, they have in place things to protect the cop. There are things within the police culture that protects police. So, I mean, how does this get fixed? I don't know. I just know that if the police officer knew that taking money from, let's say, a traffic stop and find money in the car, and then they put the money in their pocket and don't turn it in or whatever, if they know that they could get away with that, and if they were to get caught, or if it was questioned where this money came from, and they know that they're going to get backing from their superiors, what's to stop them from, violating me and taking my personal property? I don't know. I just think that a lot of times when, these things occur, it can't be occurring because, these are rogue cops. I think the culture within the police precincts needs to change, where maybe, I don't know, maybe a cop that's sympathetic to, I don't know, maybe that patrolman that climb up the ranks and become a sergeant, lieutenant, captain, whatever, can then but then that one cop can't change the whole police force's mind if they've been doing it a certain way. So I don't know where this is going, but I do know that what you need to do when coming in contact with a cop is just don't hold court in the street. Do not hold court in the street. If they say that they take you down to the station house, don't tell them no, they not, don't touch me and all that other stuff. Because once a cop makes up his mind to put the handcuffs on you, there's nothing you can do. The cop will have no problem shooting you, choking you, in order to arrest you. Dead or alive, you going with them. That's how it is. Like RoboCop, dead or alive, you coming with me. That's exactly what a cop. You challenge a cop, forget about it. They see that as a blatant disrespect, and you don't disrespect the cop because they feel that, first off, they're drug addicts, high on authority. They got that gun and badge, and they're going to let you know who's in charge. Whether it's punching you in the jaw, putting a foot in your ass, forearm smash, drop kick, whatever they got to do to subdue you and put you in your place, they're going to do it. And there could be a crowd of people watching, and I tell you right now, a cop will have no problem putting his foot in your ass in front of people, and they could be filming it and say, I was justified for doing that because he told me, that person that I was trying to arrest said that I can't touch him, or he smacked me or something like that, and I had to defend myself. That's the famous thing they like to say. I shot this person because I thought my life was in danger. I thought my life was threatened. When they go into the academy, they're told that their job is to protect life and property. I mean, if I'm not a threat to you, and for whatever reason I'm 6'7" and 250 pounds, and you're 5'5", 150 pounds, just by me standing over you while you're trying to arrest me, you feel threatened, you want to shoot me? I don't know. There was a case in Brooklyn where a guy was just coming out of going into the staircase with his girlfriend. Okay, the staircase is lit, is poorly lit, and you feel that you're so scared that you have to have your gun drawn to walk through a staircase. I walk through staircases every day, and if it's dimly lit, I'm not walking around thinking, okay, I need to have a gun on me, out, cocked and loaded, ready to go down the stairs. Or why is it that if your assignment is to patrol the staircase, you need to have your gun out? If you're just a regular patrol, you're not out there on a call of a dangerous situation, and you need to have your gun drawn because there's potential danger around the corner, or I don't get it. I don't get it. How does guy get shot and the police commissioner coming out and admitting that it was an accident, and that doesn't cost a rookie at that, a rookie. Like whenever I got a job, there was something called probation, and during that probationary period, you can't do anything that would cost you your job, because that would be grounds for dismissal. If they find within that probationary period that you can't do your job, you lose your job, and that's it. How is it that a cop who's on probation during this probationary period mistakenly kill somebody, break all kind of protocols, having your gun out? You had no reason to have your gun out. All this stuff, all these things that he violated during this probationary period, and he hasn't lost his job. At the minimum, lost his job. Charges being brought against him. I don't know. I don't get how, if I'm bad at my job during my probationary period, I could get fired, because that's what it is, probation, to test you out to see if you can do the job. How is it that this cop doesn't lose his job, arrested, even charges being brought up against him? A person is dead because of his negligence. His negligence caused the death of an innocent man that wasn't doing anything but walking in a staircase. How is it that I don't know. I don't know. So why is it that people are upset with the way policing is done in the city of New York and across the country? Because of stuff like this. Stuff like this, where we're seeking justice from the justice system that is not giving us justice. I don't know. You tell me. You let me know how I can see a news story and not get upset. How is it that I can't get upset about these things? I'm definitely afraid that if I come up across a cop that had a bad day, and because my hat is backwards, or he feels that I shouldn't be driving a nice car and want to mess with me, and I say something, or say something that he don't like, he smacks me. I don't know, man. I don't know. My thing now is, when a cop is pull me over, coming up to the car, I don't even need to know why you pulled me over. License and registration is already in hand. Here you go, officer. Hand on the steering wheel, and I'm complying with everything you're gonna. Listen, I'm taking you down to the station house because I don't like the way you wore your hat. No problem. I'm not going to argue with them. I have my day in court, because they're quick to shoot you out here. They're quick to kill you out here. And my life is, I love living. And I'm not trying to make a cop's day by giving him what he wants, by saying something or doing anything. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. Real quick story. I was actually at a friend's get-together in the Bronx on East Tremont, and another friend, basically, it was like a bar lounge or whatever, and he gets into a fight. The fight happens inside the establishment. I'm inside. I'm bugging out like, why is this going down? I mean, we're all having a good time. They're fighting or whatever. So, okay. So he's outside. I'm inside. And I was told to go outside because I was requested to go outside by the guy that started the fight. Okay, he just got out of prison or whatever. Maybe he needs some money to get in the cab to get out of here. No problem. I got him. That's my man. Whatever. So we're talking, and plainclothes detectives just rolled up on us. While they roll up on us, I feel that, you know what, let me get him out of the situation so he can go home to his family, because he just got out of jail. He might be on probation or whatever. Him being locked up behind us, maybe give him more. I don't know what the situation is. I want to help him. Here's $40. Jump in the cab and get out of here. As I give him the money and try to go back into the establishment, these two white cops rush me. What are you doing? Surrounding me, and I'm like, I'm going back inside. No, you're not. Stand right there. So they surround me, and when they're telling me to stand right there, I'm not doing anything. And not saying anything. I'm not doing anything. I take my thumbs, and it was kind of cold that day too, and I just had a shirt on. So I put my thumbs, mind you, I put my thumbs on the outsides of my pockets. They grab me. You're under arrest. And I'm like, what for? What for? What am I doing? It was just one. It was 2 white cops, but it was one out of the 2. It was really one that was really aggressive, that was doing all the talking. Where you going? You ain't going nowhere, whatever. His partner was just there, I guess, for backup or whatever. Whatever the case was. This one cop was really in my face or whatever. No problem. So they handcuffed me, and the guy that was doing all the talking squeezed the handcuffs really tight. Handcuffed really tight. The other cuff wasn't as tight because I guess, again, the other guy was cool, whatever. So this guy, I said, listen, officer, can you just please loosen the one cuff because it's super tight? He was like, oh, you want me to loosen it? You want me to loosen it? And he clicked it again and tightened it even more. And I could feel the sensation in my wrist getting numb. I was like, all right, whatever. So I'm dancing. I'm like, yo, I'm hurting. Nobody wanted to loosen up the cuffs. No problem. So another cop car comes up. A couple of black guys get out of the car, detectives. They're asking me what's going on. I was telling them the situation, that I was just giving money to a friend to get in the cab, and I tried to go back inside, and they wouldn't let me back inside because they wanted to ask me questions. I stood there, they didn't speak to me, and just threw handcuffs on me for putting my thumbs on my pockets. And then I asked them can you just loosen the cuffs? The guy had no problem loosening the cuffs. He said, just stay here. I give them my ID. They write me a disorderly conduct ticket. Now, a disorderly conduct ticket is just a $50 fine, bullshit, whatever. But I wasn't disorderly. Nothing about my behavior was disorderly. So a disorderly ticket for non-disorderly behavior is just another way for bullshit. So I don't know. It's something that's crazy. And to go back to that ticket, I got the ticket a day before the Super Bowl was a Saturday. I can't remember. I can never forget that day because we was all hanging out at the spot because we was all gonna have a Super Bowl party. And here I am about to go to jail. And when you go to jail in New York, the judge is there Monday through Friday. This is a Saturday night. I get locked up Saturday. If I didn't have ID or whatever, if they decided to take me down and lock me up on a Saturday, I wouldn't get out until Monday because the courts are closed and I'll have to see the judge before being released. So I would have to be locked up, miss the Super Bowl because of what happened with somebody else, and me being a friend to give somebody some money to get in the cab and get out of here, I get locked up. Okay, cool. So I get the appearance ticket, and on the ticket it said January, February, March. It said April 28th was my appearance date. So I get the ticket, I put it to the side, and I'm asking people, yo, I should fight it, and this, that, and the other. Like, listen, it's just a bullshit. I even asked a cop. I said, look, listen to the situation. He was like, even a cop told me it was a bullshit ticket and whatever. Just go down there, pay it. It's only like $50 or whatever. It's not on your record and anything like that. I was like, all right, cool. So days, weeks, months go by. The court date come and go. It is now August. It's now August when I decide, you know what? If I get pulled over on a traffic violation and they run my name and it comes up that I have a warrant for not, failure to appear, and then I get locked up or whatever, that's just gonna be a bad day for me. So let me just go and see what's going on with this ticket. So I go down to the courthouse. I go to the courthouse and I produced the ticket to the lady at the window. I give her my ID, and she said the ticket was dismissed. Now, I think that things happen for a reason, and I think that I wasn't supposed to get that ticket. Therefore, that ticket got dismissed based on the fact that it was all bullshit anyway. It was just bullshit. So I felt real good that day when I walked out of the courthouse, knowing that that ticket was dismissed and there wasn't a warrant for my arrest or anything like that. I went to Sammy's in the Bronx in City Island. I had me steak and lobster with shrimp on the side, and I just pigged out and I ate and I felt good, and it was a nice sunny day that day, nice and warm, and I was just feeling myself that day. I made money, I got my work done. It was just a good day knowing that that cop didn't get one up on me. A little inconvenience with a little handcuff situation. You know, I went through it, went and passed, but I didn't act up and I didn't smack the cop. I didn't curse him. I didn't do anything that was disorderly to get a disorderly ticket, but yet it's still in all. I got the ticket, whatever, ate that. Ticket is gone. So there you go. So that's what it is.